Test, 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 test.
Test, test, test. 1, 2. Mic check. Testing.
Mic check.
Test 1, 2.
Both good. Good, good.
It is match day in South Carolina as the Holy City gets set to host the Music City in their very first meeting this year. We welcome you to MUSC Health Stadium for tonight's USL Championship match. Hey everyone, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. My name's Poppy Miller, alongside me Derek Broadley. It is 90s night here, and Derek, I've got to say, you're looking pretty good.
Went to the back of the wardrobe, found this outfit, put it on, good to go tonight.
What a match we've got on our hands tonight. Fans are filing in below us, and for Nashville SC, their final season in the USL Championship before making the move to MLS, they've brought in some firepower over the off-season, and one of those is our one to watch tonight. It's Daniel Rios.
Yeah, Rios is a really talented striker, and he's made the switch to get the MLS contract. He scores goals, but he's going to have to score lots of goals this season to to really cement his place in the MLS system. So one to look out for tonight for the home team.
The Mexican youth international is second in the East for goals scored, 4 on the season and 7 goals in his last 7 USL matches dating back to last season. Well, for Mike Anhauser's side, the one to watch is Brian Anunga.
Yeah, and Anunga scored last week, and really that should kickstart his season. He's an all-action type midfield player. He scores goals, creates goals, and can stop goals. And he's really going to have to get going tonight, and the home fans are going to really want to get behind him.
The Cameroonian international was the 2018 Charleston Battery MVP and is absolutely pivotal in Mike Anhauser's midfield. Well, I actually managed to catch up with Brian Anunga earlier this week to preview tonight's match.
Fans, we always give 100% at home. We should always give 100%. I feel like at home you have the extra boost where you go like extra. So I feel good, and the team feels good. So I think we're gonna give everything on Saturday against Nashville.
Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. We are just about ready to go for kickoff. The teams are out on the pitch, just a live anthem a few minutes ago, only right when the Music City's in town. While we have a second, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. Well, Derek, for Gary Smith's side, Matt Pickens in goal tonight. We know we've seen that rotation of the goalkeepers. Of course, Doyle and Bourgeois anchoring the back tonight. Lagrassa in the middle, and the ones to watch, Tucker-Hume and Daniel Rios up top.
Yeah, they're a real potent pair, aren't they? And the Battery are certainly going to have to be at their best tonight to keep those two at bay.
The 2018 USL Golden Boot winner Cameron Lancaster on the bench tonight. We'll see if he makes an appearance for Gary Smith. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Mike Anhauser.
Yeah, and the Battery are actually going back to a 3 now. That they've sort of switched their formation. They're going with a 3-4-2-1 really. It's what they played a lot of last season with, but Candela, Anunga in the middle, Woodbine wide right, Van Schaik wide left. But what will be really pivotal tonight is the front 3 really trying to push Lewis, Higashi and Boshua, make sure that they can stop Nashville from getting out from the back.
Kuzminski between the sticks. Arthur Boshua makes his professional debut start tonight for Mike Anhauser. Well, after a tornado watch and severe storms rolled through the Low Country last night, a southern sunset surrounds us as these two big-name teams draw back the curtains and take centre stage tonight. Kevin Broadley is ready to get us underway. The Battery look to remain undefeated at home so far this season, and they are out in their historic black and yellow stripes. Nashville, of course, in the away whites, and we are underway. And Derek, what a match we've got on our hands tonight.
No, I mean, what people may not see on the TV is this is absolutely perfect conditions for a game of soccer. We've had high winds, but that's subsided now. And we've got two teams that are really out to prove different things. The Battery to keep their home record going. And Nashville, we know they're on that pathway to MLS now. So it's got all the makings of a real classic game. And as I said previously, this is one of the best games I've seen last year. So if we get a repeat of that'll be a very, very good, entertaining game for the fans. It
was stalemate between these two sides last season. Both games ended in a 1-1 draw. Let's see if a winner will be decided tonight. First free kick opportunity of the match. And of course, for Nashville, SC only conceded 2 goals so far this season. They really are off to a flying start.
Now, they're going to be very, very hard to break down. But as I said, and maybe that's a reason why Coach Anhauser's gone for his 3 up front, just to try and put them under a bit more pressure from getting out from the back.
Lagrassa in the middle of the park will orchestrate things tonight. Meloto on the far side pumps a ball forward. And Taylor Mueller just watches that one out to safety. Tucker Hume, the big man up top tonight for Gary Smith. And Taylor Mueller, Mike Anhauser's captain, is going to have his work cut out for him.
No, he's a big physical presence, isn't he? And you know, Taylor Mueller's not one to back out of those confrontations. He'll be relishing in that challenge just as well. Obviously, aerial, you'd like to think Hume's got the beating of Taylor Mueller, but on the floor, Taylor uses experience just to get back into place.
Lagrassa again looking to pump one forward to the strikers. Real workhorse in the middle of the park for Gary Smith. Played 35 games straight for Nashville and has played 42 of their 43 professional matches so far to date. He'll really be one to keep our eye on. Here's Michael Reed, the captain. Nice turn up to Rios. J. Bolt making his presence known. Kevin Broadley gives that one in favour of the visitors.
Bolt's come out very, very early on as he's decided, no, I'm going to make my presence felt there. I'm going to get in front, get them to the ball, and that's a great sign when you see your players being as competitive. That, you know, I'm sure Coach Anhauser will be, you know, not happy with the foul, but happy with the attitude of Jay just to go in and win the ball.
If there's one thing that we can expect tonight, it's going to be a very physical matchup with both these sides. Justin Davis pumps one towards Liam Doyle in the box, who gets it into danger, plucked out of the air by Joe Kuzminski. No worries at the back. Quickly played out, Candela. The overlapping run from Woodbine's there, he opts for Lewis. Woodbine joins into the attack, and this time at the other end of the pitch, the Battery find themselves with a set piece.
Yeah, and Kuzminski will be pleased with that one. It was a good take that he came out and got. He was very, very commanding in the way he got it, and as I said, great start for him.
Van Schaik forced back to Bolt. Like we mentioned, Mike Anhauser's side for the first time this season out in the 3-man back line. Mike Anhauser known for being defensively sound. A similar change happened for the Battery around this time last season, where they found so much success. And let's see if the same results can follow this season. Bosua with the pressure on Pickens, who gets it away just in the nick of time. Higashi back to Anunga. Anunga, we highlighted him in the pre-game, the 2018 Battery MVP. He will be the main man for the home side in the middle of the park tonight. There he is, the Cameroonian international, Zico Lewis. It's a good ball looking for the feet of Kotaro Higashi. No worries for the visitors. Here's Matt Pickens. And when you're talking about someone with a lot of experience, Derek, Matt Pickens just has to come to mind. 37 years old, has a wealth of USL experience and in MLS. Has won an MLS championship, in fact, and an Open Cup championship over his career. Was nominated for the 2018 USL Goalkeeper of the Year last season. He finds Rios up top. Won by Archer.
I'm wondering whether part of the change, you know, losing Swanson to that sore ankle, and looks like he's going to keep him out for about 10 days. I wonder if that's had any impact on the change of formation from the coach, because as I said, you know, they were doing very well, very expansive football, and as I said, maybe that one change just might have got him thinking a little bit more.
Well, Mike Anhauser said it earlier this week, this could be a chance. Arthur Bosherer is there. Nicely read from Kotaro Higashi. Mike Anhauser said we could expect some changes to the lineup. We've seen a change in formation, that's for sure. In 2018, Swanson scored 4 goals in 22 matches. He's already scored 3 in his last 5 games before picking up that injury last match against Bethlehem Steel. But this gives the youngster Arthur Bosherer a chance to prove himself up top.
Yeah, now, as I said, a little change of formation, so a couple of little changes there, but Bosherer's got, you know, he's more than happy to get his professional debut, full debut, I should say. And as I said, it's going to be interesting to see how both teams shape up. We're just trying to watch the early pickings here. Davis
to Hume. Tucker Hume out wide, the ball back in the box. Van Schaik is there. Carlton Belmar is on his heels. And here comes the re-delivery over the top of the bar. And keep your eye tonight on Carlton Belmar's pace down this wing. Absolutely explosive.
And Van Schaik wasn't too convincing there, was he? He won the tackle. It was a bit of a loose ball out. But as I said, so now the game's sort of, we're 5 minutes in, it's starting to settle down now. You know, both teams will sort of prod each other, try and find out where the weakness is, and straight away you can see that Nashville have come out to play. They're trying to get it forward quickly, trying to hit the 2 up front, 2 experienced players up there, whereas the Battery are just trying to work it through their midfield.
Belmar wins the aerial. Rios does enough to keep it in. Here's Michael Reed. Out to Maloto. Justin Davis looking to get forward into the attack. Woodbine's there with the pressure, but he cuts right inside. And safety in numbers from Mike Anhauser's side.
One of the features of this Battery team is how well they get back into shape. You know, the discipline, Candela and Anunga, how they get back in and sit in front of that 18-yard box to screen their back 3 is amazing.
Maloto almost pulled off a fantastic turn there. He was looking for the free kick, but the referee waves play on. Here's Van Schaik. Not many options on. Tries to find the feet of Zico Lewis, but the visitors regain the possession, and nicely read. Great experienced play by the captain, Taylor Mueller. Here's Woodbine. Up for Basua. Woodbine again short for Higashi. Gets the return ball almost. Broadley is going to bring it back.
Just going to have a little word there. I said I think it's the second one in quick succession. I think that's the problem there. I think Gary Smith's just asking questions there, isn't he, about that? Look, so here it's a little loose tackle, look, and it's a late tackle. It's a lazy tackle.
And there is head coach Gary Smith, the Englishman who will lead Nashville SC into MLS play next season. Hume knocks one on for Rios. Mueller's there, but Rios fancy footwork at the top of the box and a great recovering run from Candela.
And that's what he does really well, doesn't he? Candela just screens that back 3. And, you know, as I said, him and Anunga, they do a great job of just sitting in there. They've always got bodies behind the ball and break things up on the edge of the box. And that's where Nashville look really, like, menacing right now.
Bourgeois across to Doyle. Doyle, the native of the Isle of Man. It's the first time in his career he's played 2 seasons with the same team, really gained some consistency with Nashville last season. He was actually the one to score against the Battery at home from that free kick. And while we have a second, that's a good chance to welcome anybody joining us from the Music City tonight. I know there's several watch parties around, so a warm welcome into MUSC Health Stadium.
2 important players tonight for the Battery is going to be Zico Lewis and Higashi, because those 2 have to get on the ball. They have to secure the ball and make sure that they maintain possession.
Yes, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Here's Darnell King. He puts a dangerous ball into the box. straight through everybody and flying in at the back post, Maloto. That was a bright spark from the visitors, Derek.
Yeah, that was worrying. There was 2 or 3 players that were out there then. They were outnumbered. And, yeah, I think they got let off there, the battery. There was, you know, an overload at the far post there. It was a great run, great cross in. You know, people went to, as I said, that's one of the things that's unusual because the battery normally recover into shape very quickly. They do very, very well getting bodies behind the ball. But in that occasion, they weren't. They were a little bit loose. I think Van Schaik's got to get a little bit tighter and make sure that he stops that service coming into the box on a regular basis.
Here's Michael Reed to generate the attack from the middle. Now the battery regain the possession. Here's Jay Bolt. Looking for Van Schaik, just crept out of bounds.
And one of the things tonight that's going to be really interesting is going to see, you know, how this midfield shapes up. Right now, it looks like they've just matched each other up in midfield. You know, Candela and Anunga are just trying to pick up their players, and what the battery's going to need is someone to fill in that little number 10 role, whether it's Lewis, Higashi. One of them's got to go in and just manage the ball in that little gap.
Candela down in the middle. Kevin Brawley will hold the match.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit of a late challenge there. The players saw it. I think the referee was following the ball.
And if there's anybody that's going to go 110% into every challenge, it's that man right there, Vincenzo Candela. Let's have another look at this.
Yeah, it's just on the follow through. I think he's actually gone through into the standing leg there. So, as I said, I think that was just a genuine accident. The referee's made a good decision.
Van Schaik picks up King's header. Joshua with the pressure, the lone striker up top for Mike Anhauser.
And that's better by Woodbine, isn't it? You know, getting up there and, you know, getting to the pace of the ball and trying to stop Nashville from getting good open possession in their own half.
Long ball forward. Mueller is there. So Mueller, 4th all-time appearances in the at the Charleston Battery. Just behind assistant coach Dusty Hudock. John Wilson, who's also down there on the bench as an assistant coach, and Paul Conway could actually hit his 200th professional appearance tonight. This season, sorry, for the Battery. Bit of a feature on him at half-time. Archer.
It's just a little bit scrappy at the minute, isn't it? Both teams are feeling each other out. I said no one's really dominated, no one's really got it going yet. And as I said, it's going to, there's a free kick there. But yeah, both teams are just trying to, you know, feel themselves out. I think they're both trying to get used to these formations and see where people are at. I think Archer's there took a real sore one there on his knee, on his shin actually. I think he'd actually won the ball. It was just a little bit of a late challenge here. So you'll see as he gets round, he gets great position, gets ball side. Wins the ball, does his little turn. I think it's that trailing leg that just catches his Achilles. So that'll be a sore one, but he should be good enough to carry on.
And Leland Archer, what a mainstay he's been in the back line. Signed from the College of Charleston. His first professional contract midway through last season. The 6'4" Trinidad and Tobago international. Such a dominant defender.
He was the man of the match here in the last home game, done very, very well, made the USL Team of the Week as well. So, you know, that was testament to his performance.
Good ball into the attack by Mueller. Woodbine with the pressure on Maloto. Here's Woodbine into the box. Van Schaik's there, Van Schaik! Jared Van Schaik puts the black and yellow 1-0 up. What a goal.
No, and again, that's down to Woodbine. We won't see that, but he's high pressure. He saw it a minute ago. He's done the same thing again. It's a great ball in. It goes. I think Boschua and the defender just miss it. It comes on, and he's got a sweet left foot, and he Van Schaik. And that's a great strike. It's a good hit. Gives Pickens no real chance there. So here he is, Woodbine. He's done all his work here. It's a great ball in. Boschua's taken 2 defenders away. Look, and that's a fantastic strike with the outside of the foot. And that really means Van Schaik needs to get higher up the field because he does have a sweet left foot when he gets into those positions.
That has got to be a nominee for goal of the week at least. What a fantastic strike. That was Jared Van Schaik's first of the season. And after after spending the majority of this week at the Charleston Battery training ground. That was an absolute scripted routine of a cross, something they've been working on. And what a finish from the back post. Now it's game on. The Charleston Battery lead the Music City in the 15th minute. Can the visitors find a response is the question.
Yeah, and I think Archer's definitely struggling with this Achilles heel now. It's the second time he's gone down. He came to the, when the goal went in, he came straight to the bench. And I think that, there's an outside chance they're going to have to make a change here. As I said, I think it was one of them loose ones. It was just caught him on the back of his Achilles heel. It's a real sore one. And I think they'll see if he can carry on. They don't want to rush in and make a change too early. But let's go back to the goal, though. That might really set this game alight, because what we needed was that it was getting a little bit chippy. That there was no real flow to the game, and then out of nowhere we get this fantastic goal. And now this injury will give teams, both teams, a chance just to regroup and resettle down into the game. And I'm sure this is probably a better time for the Battery, having getting the goal up. They can just reorganise themselves, refocus, and Nashville certainly, gives them a chance to start thinking about what they want to do from here. I think they're going to give Leland Archer every single chance of staying in this game.
It's a difficult one when Mike Anhauser's gone to the 3 at the back for the first match this season. But such a pivotal part of that is Leland Archer. Bobby Weisenberger of MUSC Health on the pitch, taking fantastic care of the players as usual. I think if you're a black and yellow fan, you're hoping that he can continue the game, but it's not looking good.
No, it's one of those, as I said, he's stamped on his Achilles, and it looks like Archer is going to come out. Is it Nelson who's going to come in?
This is going to give a fantastic chance for the newcomer, Kyle Nelson, to make his debut for the Charleston Battery. And we know he is extremely speedy, a very agile player, tremendous athlete. But he's going to be under immense pressure at the back in this match.
Yeah, you never really want to be forced into your debut, do you? I mean, everyone wants their debut, but you don't want to be forced in under these conditions. It's not saying he's prepared himself for. He's a good, he's a good young professional, and he's coming on to play a position that he's played regularly, so that's not going to daunt him. But coming on this early in the game, especially when your team's just scored. So here he comes, and he'll be welcomed in. He's got a great man alongside him in Taylor Mueller, great captain. So he'll just need to be on his toes now and play his way in.
Here he is. Kyle Nelson will play alongside captain Taylor Mueller. And that is somebody that you want to be playing next to as you make your debut.
Yeah. And if you're Nashville now, you're thinking there's a little opportunity there to go, to go and attack a new player. It's a great ball in across. Jay Bolt heads it out. That's a great header.
Nashville on the front foot. Towards the back post, pressure is on. Kuzminski out of the sky as he brings the home side to safety.
Give Brand Shake due there. He got up early, then he made it very, very difficult for the attacker to get a clean head on the ball. But again, it's come twice now. Kuzminski and looked very comfortable coming, claiming balls above his head.
Bolt into the midfield. Grasser turns into the attack. Free kick for the Battery. Fans select as the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues around the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation.
That's great pressure there by Lewis as he come through again. Van Shake's played a really intelligent little pass down the line, and Lewis does fantastically well just to go and get his team a corner. And the Battery have always been very good at these set pieces. It gets the crowd up and running. And if they can, then they'll certainly look at to see if they can extend their league this early on and really open up a little bit of a gap there, give them a little bit of a cushion.
Let's see what the Battery can create with this. It's going to be an in-swinger from Vincenzo Candela. Zico Lewis is there, ready for the short option if needed. Keep your eye on the height in the box. Taylor Mueller on Pickens. Here comes the delivery towards the back post, straight through everyone. Tell you what, Derek, that was a brilliant ball in.
No, it's a great ball, great delivery by Candela, and I've always been a little bit critical of him sometimes, but that was a great delivery, and he's whipped that in, put some pace on it, just needed something to get their head on the end of it. And And here we have another attacking option. You know, you've got Woodbine now, who's got this great long throw. He can throw it in. It's probably more accurate than a corner. So let's see if Boschua can get a little flick on and see what people are coming in behind it.
We saw Lewis capitalise on a throw in from Woodbine. Nunga leaves it short though. The Battery will keep the possession. Let's see what he does with this one. Looking to take it quickly. Again, looking for the feet of Zico Lewis this time, but Kevin Broadley sees a foot off the ground as he puts in the delivery.
You don't often see that at this level, do you? A foul throw, but you know, for all you youngsters watching out there, you know, you've got to make sure you do your technique right on your throw-ins.
Rios. Nashville building in the attack. Took a Hume. Straight across. Here's Darnell King. Into Rios. Nicely read by Taylor Mueller. Lewis for Higashi. Not many options on, but a brilliant ball out wide to Woodbine. Woodbine picking up some pace on the flank. Slowed down in his track. Lofty ball again, this time for Van Schaik. Lays it, looking for Kotaro Higashi, and brilliantly read by Lagrassa.
Yeah, another good option there by Van Schaik, and again it's Woodbine who's getting all the work done wide, isn't he? He's doing very, very well there. He's put 2 good balls in now. Both times he's found Van Schaik on the back post.
Here's Reed out wide to Davis. A great ball leading Malotto into the attack. Rios. Mueller can't quite clear to safety, and the strike is there from distance over at the top of the bar.
And basically here, the Battery have found a little chink in Nashville's arm where they keep attacking King down this left hand, or here their right hand side, our left hand side. And twice now Van Schaik's got in on the far post, and it's something he's going to have to be aware of. His relationship with Boschua and King, they need to make sure that they sort of tighten up and get a lot closer together. The gap's too big there, and they've been punished once, and they were nearly punished again just a couple of minutes ago.
Here's Joe Kuzminski. Seems to win the aerial. Tucker Hume on the back of Bolt as he shields it to safety.
He's a big willing runner, and he covers a lot of ground. He's not unlike Swanson, is he? You know, he's got good technique. He's a big boy, but he moves around well.
Joshua. Recovered by Reed. Fantastic sliding challenge out the back by Davis.
And again, it was Woodbine again when it put him pressure on. He's done fantastically well in this opening sort of 20 minutes.
Battery keeping Nashville very high. You can see that Carlton Belmar having to drop deep into the midfield to try and get an attack going.
And you see they're on the front foot, the Battery. They're getting their foot in it. They're getting in front. They're intercepting rather than tackling. And they're very competitive right now and making it difficult for this Nashville team.
Both teams come into tonight's matchup with just the lone loss on the season so far. Woodbine for Lewis. To run straight through. Doyle denies him, and now this could be a breakaway. Malotto. He's got speed. Rios is with him. Hume at the back. And runs into black and yellow traffic.
Nelson's got to do a better job of getting out there quicker. He was just letting him run on a little bit. He needs to get across a little bit, and that's a little bit of naivety on his part there, but I'm sure he'll be told and he'll learn from this.
Davis switches the flanks for King. Back to Bourgeois. Texas native. Started 22 of the 24 matches he appeared in last season for Gary Smith. Gary Smith labelled him the most surprising performer of 2018. Very impressed with him. Here's King. It's a good ball to the top of the box. Out wide to Belmar. Belmar with the delivery towards the back post. O'Brien Woodbine manages to get ahead on it.
Using his experience when he's just to cover up on the back post. They were a little bit outmatched there, the Battery, but again, got great knowledge back there, and they've got some old timers that know how to play at this level, and they know how to get in position themselves just to block and stop attacks from coming.
Carlton Belmar on this flank. It's a wealth of USL experience, as do many of these Nashville players. Bourgeois, denied by Boschua. Boschua again with the pressure. You've got to say it's been great energy from Mike Anhauser's side in this early going.
No, again, it goes back a little bit to last season when they could absorb pressure and play on the counter-attack, and it was depending on where they pit their line and how high they press. It looks like they've done it just inside the half, and so Woodbine, Lewis, Higashi, they're all at it, and Woodbine's certainly the one for me. He's gone high when he needs to, and he's defended when he needs to.
Here's LaGrassa out wide to Justin Davis. Takes a touch inside, looking to feed Hume into the attack. Mueller reading these direct balls nicely. Doyle into the middle of the park, finds its way out to King. Again, the battery absorbing the pressure. Here's LaGrassa looking for Rios. Took a Hume, running in at the back post, and Kuzminski plays it out quickly. Great ball from Lewis for Boshua.
A bit of kiss of death there for Boshua. He's done great getting his body in front. Just a little bit of a loose touch, and yet the defender get the other side of him. But he's a good target lad. He likes to hold about, makes some intelligent runs.
Hume out to Rios. You might remember Rios from a stellar season at North Carolina FC last year. Guadalajara, Mexico. It's tied second in the USL at the minute with Sebastian Guenzati of the Tampa Bay Rowdies for goals 4 on the season.
That was much better by Nelson on it, getting nice and tight, and he gets his little tackles in. I'll be pleased with that one. This is a good spell of possession for Nashville. They're moving the ball around, but great discipline there by the back. They just wait for the mistakes to happen, and Bolt doesn't need any other cues. He'll run forward, he'll run for the corners and do very well there.
Looking to slot one in, just mistimed. Like you said, Derek, fantastic run out of the back. Bolt just asking Boshua to step forward, come to it.
I think he would have said you probably could have kept on going, Jay. So I think, Bolt could have just definitely gone a little bit higher.
Pickens. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Gary Smith has had the luxury of rotating his goalkeepers so far this season. Connor Sparrow has also made his presence known this year. He's gone with the veteran tonight at the back.
That's unusual. You don't know whether one of them's carrying an injury or it's tactical, or you're just trying to give them playing time. I mean, it's not like you're an outfield player where you can, switch in positions. You only get one goalie and you can only play them. So fair play to him on that.
A big building year for Nashville, of course, heading to MLS next season. Here's Van Schaik. Forced to go back. Hume with the pressure. Bolt into Anunga. Great footwork from the Cameroonian international. Has he got the pace though? It's going to take a lot to get round King.
Great positive running. If you're Mike Anhauser, you love that. You see Anunga like opening his legs, running with a purpose, taking players on. He's happy to go one-on-one as well. Fantastic play.
Higashi leads Van Schaik into the attack. This is promising, straight across the back. Woodbine's there, takes the strike. Not on target, but what a build-up. There
you go again, the two wide players again. It's the strength of this system. You got Van Schaik now setting up Woodbine. It was a reverse of the goal there, wasn't it? But a great attack. All started off with a throw-in on this side. Great play by Higashi, just rolling Van Schaik down the line. And again, it's that cross to the far post. Defenders get sucked in, and he was a bit disappointed with his shot that it wasn't on target, Woodbine. But again, another good effort.
Taro Higashi, the Japanese veteran, extremely agile under pressure. Here's Anunga. Into the feet of Boshua.
Find himself a little bit unlucky there. I think he thought he got the throw there.
Lewis regains the possession. Higashi. Van Schaik. Back to the captain in acres of space. Nelson, the Watford College product. Lofty ball into the attack for Woodbine. Loses his footing, but up to try and recover.
That'll be another good spot for young Nelson there, wasn't it? Great ball down the line, perfectly weighted. And, you know, showing that he's got a good range of passing already in the couple of minutes he's been on.
Here's Lewis. What a ball through for Higashi. Denied at the outside of the box by Davis.
I'm sure after last ride, I'm sure this one from Woodbine will definitely be going into the box this time. You know, if you boss your way, you want it thrown into you and then get people around you. Lewis and Sheikh and Nunga all on the edge of the box. See what pieces drop out. So this will certainly be going into the box, I'm sure.
It's a cannon into the box. Nobody at home. But safety first from Nashville. This will be a corner kick. And Zico Lewis picks it up to drop one into the box.
And we've seen this young lad's got great delivery on his left foot and he can really fizz it in there. You know, I'm sure Mueller will come up, Nelson will come up. And, you know, he's got great delivery, great pace on it. And I'm sure this, you know, that this is something that Nashville have looked at and seen what the battery's done over recent weeks.
It's going to be Zico Lewis with the in-swinger. Mueller on Pickens again. Keep your eye at Van Schaik at the back post. Into the near post. Mueller's there. Couldn't keep an eye on it. And Lewis will get another go at that.
Yeah, he's just trying to whip that into the near post, but he's got his corner, so it shows you it's another good one.
Here he is, Zico Lewis, round two. Again at the near post. Mueller gets a touch on it. Wide of the target. But the captain knocking at the door.
You can see that's something they've worked on, isn't it? You know, it's been whipped in. Mueller's just run towards, he's just trying to redirect, use the pace of the ball that Lewis is putting in there and just direct it in the goal. And it was unlucky, but I said our angle didn't show how close that probably was. It just went probably by the near post and maybe just slightly a little bit too high. But it's definitely something they must have worked on.
Two veterans, Matt Pickens and Taylor Mueller, head to head in the attack. Good ball out the back by Pickens. Van Schaik wins the aerial. Grasser forced to sweep in the middle.
And I think now you're looking at this first half now, you know, the battery's got all their success from their two wide players, Van Schaik, Woodbine, you know, they're crossing it for each other. And that's the second time he's given him a foul throw, so we may have to have a little look at that.
And I think Woodbine just looking to get it in so quickly. Broadly giving it the other way. Here's King, the Tampa native, up to Belmar. Grasser in the middle, out wide to Davis, who will join the attack. Candela picks it up to go the other way. Here's Woodbine again. Woodbine with some real pace. And what a challenge that was from Grasser.
He's got to get back in, Woodbine. I mean, this is where he's got to do a better job of getting back in. It's great running forward, but he's just got to, you know, he's not the youngest anymore. He's just got to balance that up of when to go and support the attack and when to stay in and defend.
Graham Woodbine, 31-year-old MLS veteran, Jamaican international. So much experience, and like you said, so much pace. Rios out wide for Hume. Hume looking to go in the box. And a good recovery from Lewis, who took a loose touch. Higashi under pressure.
Just needs a better touch there, Higashi, didn't he? A little bit loose. Here's Van Schaik, who's had a great first half goal. Good crosses in, good defensive work. Done fantastically well so far.
Candela, the Colombian in his second season with the battery. Mike Anhauser, of course, every season doing a fantastic job of bringing players back and integrating the new ones. A couple of new signees out there tonight.
And this is better from the batter, and it just take a little bit of sting out of the game, passing it, having a little spell of possession, make Nashville work hard. Good play.
Van Schaik opts to switch the flanks, puts it on a dime almost for Woodbine, takes a bit of an awkward bounce at the end, but right idea.
Yeah, he's going to give the free kick, the referee there.
Maloto. Forced back to Doyle. Here's Bradley Bourgeois. Nashville just trying to pull the battery out. Canal's side doing a nice job of sitting in defensively. Reed picks up the second ball. Grasser will try the other way. Here's Davis with the delivery into the box. It's a dangerous one, almost spilt by Kuzminski. Well, Belmar was there, and Kuzminski to bring his side to safety.
Yeah, it was a great take. Again, as the ball comes in, you'll see, and there's there's a lot of bodies in front of him. He's focused on the ball there, and I think Hume there just put him off a little bit. But great concentration by Kuzminski. I was just about to say, if you look at Grasser and Reed, a lot of their passes are sideways. They haven't really hit any penetrating passes right now. I think that's the difference between the two teams. That the two midfield players, Candela and Anunga, are really working well against the two, and it's a great battle in there. But right now you have to say the battery are just slightly on top, maybe not in terms of possession, but in terms of the effectiveness of the passing.
Great recovery run by Bourgeois. Side had the possession again, a loose ball looking for Anunga. Nelson on the far side. Here's Rios. You don't want to give him any space at the top of the box. Maloto now. Belmar's in the mix, goes out wide to King. Can King get the delivery in? Van Schaik with the press. Yes, he can. It's into the box. Maloto's there. Rios now sliding in from Bolt.
Bolt lost his foot in a real key area there. I think actually helped him out. He actually, he got his body there so he could actually stop the shot and roll in front of him. So a little bit of fortune there. But that was a good little spell of possession. Here it is here, look, so you just see he lost his foot in and it just put the attacker off and went out for a corner.
It's going to be Justin Davis to put one into the box. Arizona native has 1 assist on the season so far.
And he's got a left foot. He's going to whip this in as well. So it's going to be again all hands on deck in the box now.
Really their go-to set piece taker. Let's see what he can make of this one. It's a good ball in towards the back post. Doyle is there. And no worries at the back for Kuzminski, who looks to play it out quickly. Lofty ball looking for Lewis. Let's have a look here. It looks like it might have been Bourgeois to catch Kuzminski's kick. Let's have a look.
Yeah, and that's very naive. That's dangerous as well. That's dangerous play. The referee's done fantastic well to give a yellow card there, because that can be a sore one for a goalkeeper. He's got his eyes focused on getting it forward, and that's a silly challenge, that, and a dangerous challenge. Quite rightly, the referee's given him a yellow card.
Zico Lewis was on his bike. Kuzminski been playing out the back very quickly on any chances Nashville have had.
It's a sign of the confidence of the battery. As I said, their expansive football that I've spoken about, they're happy to go out and take teams on. Last year they were a little bit more conservative, but this year they're definitely out to go out. They've got good attacking players.
There's Van Schaik out wide to Lewis. Lewis on absolute fire lately. Van Schaik, can he get a cross in? Yes, he can. And takes a touch from Grasser. Can Nashville break away? Hume back to Reed. Maloto.
He's got to get a bit tighter there.
Maloto towards the back post, punched away by Kuzminski. The danger isn't over. Belmar, still Belmar, and denied at the front post by Jay Bolt.
Yeah, and I think there Nelson again, he's got to get in there. We get to see that again. He's got to get closer for that cross. Look, he can't give a player that much time. Kuzminski nearly gets caught out. It just comes back in there. Zico Lewis gets beat far too easily there, but Jay Bolt stands up and big and strong for the battery.
Jay Bolt been a very versatile defender so far this season. We've seen him at centre-back, out on the flank, and of course at a wing-back position, doing very well tonight so far.
Yeah, you always know what you're going to get from him, don't you? We know, we spoke about him many times, but today he's thrown his body there twice now in front and saved his team from conceding a goal.
Here's Davis, it's a dink into the box this time. The follow-up is there from Maloto. Battling with Woodbine and Nunga now. The danger isn't over. Davis takes one into the box. Takes a deflection from Nelson. Lewis, can the Battery break away quickly again? Still Lewis. The crowd really starting to get behind the home side. Been very back and forth in this last couple of minutes. Maloto fancying his chances on this near side now.
Home fans will want to see Lewis in the other end, not his own defensive end.
Humes there. And Kosminski comes out on top.
Kosminski's been great, very commanding with these crosses. He nearly got caught out one because he's taken a high aggressive line. But he's taken some good ones, and it's great for defenders because you know your goalie's going to come and take them and be fully committed to getting there.
White shirts almost collide in the middle. There's Higashi for Lewis. Brilliant footwork from the Bermudan. Gets the 1-2. It's Zico Lewis as he comes in the box. Great trickery. And tries to take the strike. Can't produce anything from it. But what a run that was.
Great link-up play with him and Higashi. And you can see what he was trying to do there when it's not his strongest foot, his right side, but he cut inside and he was trying to bend it in that far corner. And the fact that he's got the confidence to go and do that is a great sign.
It's been an exciting game so far. Let's take another look at this.
Yeah, he's coming in. You can see that he's just trying to hook that and bend that into the far side. But the fact that he shows a player who's got good confidence because, as I said, it's not his strongest foot, but he's happy to come inside and see if he can get something on the back of that.
Shape denies Rios. Sky high in the air. Woodbine's there, as is the captain Michael Reed. Bicycle from the Jamaican. Here's Anunga.
Very tight in that midfield area, isn't it? And it's great play by Candela and Anunga just to keep possession for their team. And Nelson just against a great intelligent pass to put it into that area. And Boshua just needs to be a little bit more, a little bit sensible there. He's got defenders under pressure. If he can get a throw in there with Woodbine and the players have got Zico Lewis on the edge of the box, that could have been an exciting situation there.
Can't deny Boshua's efforts so far, been chasing down absolutely everything. Here's Maloto. Humes with him. Recovery run from Woodbine. Out wide, here's Belmar. Couldn't get the delivery into the box.
Yeah, that was poor there. He had a great chance to put his team back into, put the ball into the box and get his team back on the front foot. And he struggled there, but again, great recovery there by Van Schaik. He'll be very pleased with his first half performance, both offensively and defensively. He's done fantastically well.
Fans, you can follow the Charleston Battery and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC and many, many more. Join over the 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com.
Boshua has been a willing runner tonight, hasn't he? He's run for everything. He's chased down. Great performance. Great attitude.
He is again putting the pressure on Pickens, who opts to go short. Higashi is there. Nashville do well to work it out of the back. Candela with the pressure on King. It's a deflection, and the Battery go the other way. Very slippy surfaces out there. As Kevin Bradley loses his footing in the middle. Doyle almost at the back. Here's Higashi, tracking inside the box, takes a touch at the top for Anunga. Candela now. Back to Nelson.
This is good play by the Battery there. Rather than chase something that wasn't quite on, they're happy to go back and rework it again.
Doyle comes through. Lagrassa for the aerial. Brought down nicely by Van Schaik. Here's Higashi. Mike Anhauser up off his bench, looking on below, as is head coach Gary Smith for Nashville. Woodbine in acres of space.
It's the closest those two have been all game, and look at them. They're still passing it to each other.
Here's Candela for Lewis. A brilliant ball out wide to Woodbine. Woodbine with the service, denied by Justin Davis. This is going to bring up another set piece opportunity from a corner. Yeah. Let's see what Lewis can do with that.
Lewis is great on these set pieces, but more importantly, the little intelligent passes he does in and around the 18-yard, but he just passes it into space for other players to run onto. It's a great quality that he has, and it, you know, and players all around him. You know, you're always in the game when Zico Lewis has got the ball.
Mueller stays back this time. It goes short. Woodbine for Anunga. It looks like another one from the training ground across to Higashi with the delivery. Nelson's there. He gets the header. And the referee is going to give a free kick. But what a moment that would have been for Kyle Nelson on his Battery debut.
But again, one from the training ground, you see, was totally different to the first one. The first one was whipped into the front post. This one was worked all the way round, reversed back in there, and there's Nelson taking up an intelligent position on the far post. He was just a little bit too keen to get on the end of it.
You can see 3 minutes added on time here from Charleston, South Carolina. It's Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match, wherever you are. Schwert brings it down for the home side. Lewis is there to pick up the second ball. You could see his thoughts looking for Higashi. Here come Nashville in the middle of the park. Well read by the Japanese veteran. Higashi absolutely throwing himself into the challenge. Mike Hanhauser down below, as you can see, had his 25th anniversary at the club last year, over 200 career wins. Absolute pivotal part of all the success that the Charleston Battery has had over the years. Made the playoffs every year that he has been head coach. Good ball into Rios. Rios turns this traffic from the black and yellow. Van Schaik. Battery can play it out. Here's Anunga into the striker's feet. Higashi to find Candela, and that was a nasty one. Looked like it got him right on the throat there almost.
Yeah, what it was, I think he's a shoulder to shoulder, but you've got one player that's about 6 inches, 8 inches taller than the other one, and it probably looks a lot worse than what it was. And this will do well for the Battery, because I think the game was just getting a little bit up and down, choppy, and this will just hopefully see them through to half time, because they'll want to get there now, because this minute or two before half time, and here it is here, look, you can see he's running through, look, it's just a shoulder to shoulder, but it's a shoulder to face just because of the lack of the height.
And there we go, the first half whistle. The first 45 is in the books. Here from MUSC Health Stadium, Derek Broadley, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, it was a very slow start to the game. Both teams were really trying to feel each other out, and then the goal changed the game, didn't it? It was a great goal, a goal worthy of like lighting up any game. A fantastic left-footed strike from Van Schaik. And then you have to say that the Battery then became a lot more composed in possession, and now the questions have got to be asked by Nashville. Can they find gaps? Can they find situations where they can create a few more chances? They've got to start going a little bit more direct, or not as direct, sorry, to Joe Kuzminski, who looks like he's having a great game, especially with crosses and stuff. So very interesting second half to come.
Van Schaik, the difference as the Battery lead at Nashville 1-0 at the half. Stay with us. We'll be taking a look at the news and notes around the league and what's to come for the Charleston Battery. We'll be right back after this break.
where Louisville wants to attack, shooting and scoring.
Saved by Caldwell.
Collier.
Yes!
Collier.
Knock back towards Spencer. Brilliant finish.
Getting to play with all these fantastic players from like all over the states, and it was just really fun.
Another action-packed week of USL action is in the books as we take a look at the top 3 headlines for this week's Around the League, presented by Home Telecom. New York Red Bulls 2 sit at the top of the Eastern Conference after a stellar midweek performance against Hartford Athletic. Jared Stroud opened the scoring in the 53rd minute, and Tom Barlow followed just 10 minutes later, notching his 6th goal of the season and putting him as leading goalscorer in the Eastern Conference. Etienne also got on the score sheet, adding to the 4-0 victory. The Tampa Bay Rowdies remain undefeated so far this season after splitting points with the USL reigning champions Louisville City FC. Andrew Tanari wowed the crowd with a fantastic strike from the top of the box to open the scoring. The visitors managed to find the equaliser in the concluding minutes of the match to earn a point from Al Lang Stadium. Neil Collins' side sits third in the Eastern Conference heading into this weekend. St. Louis FC suffered their first loss of the season on Saturday against Birmingham Legion. It was Laron with the header off Culbertson's set-piece delivery. Rivas found the response after half-time, but it was JJ Williams, the Columbus Crew loanee, the standout after scoring back-to-back goals. Captain Sam Fink slotted home a PK in the 88th minute, but time wasn't on their side as the final whistle blew 3-2 for the visitors. Well, that just about wraps things up around the East heading into Week 7. For the Charleston Battery, I'm Poppy Miller.
Starring Dante Marini,
Arthur Boschwell,
AJ Patterson, Joe Kosminski, Jay Bolt, Philip, and you're watching Disney Channel. I'm gonna say the show Rocket Power.
It was the golden age of Disney cartoon movies. Lion King, Pocahontas, all that good stuff.
Baggy clothing, SpongeBob SquarePants, Britney Spears. A vivid memory, my mom used to drive a purple Honda Accord, and we used to play NSYNC cassette tapes in that car. Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson. Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. Bum-ba-da-dun-da-da-dun-dun. Bum-ba-da-dun-da-da-dun-dun.
Can you feel the love tonight?
I want it that way.
I Want Candy by Aaron Carter. Other Side by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Number one to be a visor.
Some Tamagotchi,
Nintendo 64.
Dial-up internet.
Baggy collared shirt.
Disney movies,
The paper cup with the purple and blue waves on it.
Fanny pack.
Lunchable. Rugrats.
Oversized white sneakers.
a denim jacket,
Baggy jeans.
Lunchables.
The finger things. What were those called? The Chinese finger trap. Yeah.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Walkman.
Rollerblades.
Magic School Bus, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Boom.
Don't forget to come to our game April 20th against Nashville. It's 90s night.
Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. It is 90s night here, the Charleston Battery taking on Nashville FC. But while we have a second, let's turn our attention to the Charleston Battery's next game, a short trip at home, because they will head to AutoZone Park on Saturday to take on Memphis 901. And always tricky, Derek, for a new team to come into the league and play at this standard.
Yep, you can see Memphis have come in, they've only got the one win and they're just coming to terms with playing at this level, and their players are getting used to the travel. So this is going to be also a tricky one, playing against a new team. I'm sure there'll be enthusiasm there from the home team, and one the Battery's going to have to watch out for.
The Charleston Battery will then take on Pittsburgh Riverhounds at MUSC Health Stadium. And the Riverhounds, of course, always defensively sound, always a fantastic matchup, and the Battery will have the home pitch advantage.
Yeah, this one's always a good one for me. I think it's one you put on your calendar. Pittsburgh are a well-established club now in the league. They've got good coaches, good players. They all create good games. They get to the playoffs regularly. So, again, this is another real tough one for the Battery, and I'm sure their home form is something that they'll want to keep building on.
It's Beer Festival as well, so stay tuned on all social media to see what that entails. But that always brings in a few fans. What is better than beer and football?
Can't beat it.
Well, let's take a look at our player spotlight this week. It is, of course, the captain. And we were talking about this off-air, Derek, someone that's really the unsung hero of the side.
Yeah, to be a captain of a team is a really powerful role, and Taylor really epitomises that. He's a very strong character, a very solid player, quite a quiet player off the field as well. And you can see there for the number of appearances he's made, the amount of minutes he's played. He's very well established, very committed to this club and to this game, and one that we don't really talk about too often, and as you said, an unsung hero in this team.
And he could very well hit his 200th USL Championship appearance this season, so we will stay tuned. As you can see there, very, very close. And you know him well also from coaching the youth team when he's not with the pro team.
Yeah, one of the things that Taylor's doing as he comes towards the end of his career, he's looking at the coaching role, and he's a superb coach. For young players to have the ability to go and work with him is great, and I'm sure that they'll take many of his qualities that he has and take them into the youth games that they currently play in.
Well, we're going to take a quick break now, but when we come back, we'll have second half action from MUSC Health Stadium. It's the Charleston Battery taking on Nashville SC. Second half action up next. Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. It's half-time here. Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match wherever you are. Well, the Battery lead 1-0 at the half. It was Jared Van Schaik, Derek, but you've got to say both teams have had chances. And while we have a second, let's take a look at the first half highlights.
No, it really was a good opening sort of 20 minutes, and you know, on the 15th minute, here's this great goal that's worthy of winning any game. It was a great mover. Brian Woodbine just crosses it, it comes to back post, and this is an unbelievable strike outside the foot going away. Pickens has got no chance, and here's a second chance here where Mueller just got across the front and from a great corner by Lewis. And then here's Nashville's chance. It was a double chance really. You know, nearly gets caught off his line. Kuzminski. Zico Lewis doesn't defend particularly well here, but Jay Bolt done what he done a couple of times, stand big, be tough. And then here's Zico Lewis at his best, just cutting in, just very unfortunate not to try and curl it in on his his weaker right foot. But it was a really good chance there, and it was a great first half. And if we get similar in the second half, I think a lot of the fans here will go home very, very happy.
Well, we were just saying at half-time, Derek, that we feel like more goals are definitely in this match. We are away for the second half from Charleston, South Carolina. The visitors to get us underway in the early going. Rios and Hume up top, no changes as of yet for either side at half-time. Of course, we saw that substitution. Leland Archer picking up an injury in the first half, replaced by Kyle Nelson, who makes his debut tonight. You've got to say he's doing quite well so far, under a lot of pressure at the back.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'd be easier for him coming out at the start of a half than coming into a game. But you know, he did come in, he done well. He had his couple of good moments, some good passing, and some good defending. And as I said, I'm sure he'll have been spoken to at half time by his coaches.
So from Maloto, nothing to come of it at the top of the box. Boshua been a real workhorse in the first half, chasing down everything that's come his way. Also makes his starting debut tonight for Mike Anhauser. Hume outline to Davis. Tarbara and Nunga picks it up, and the Battery will go the other way. Candela runs out of space into the feet of Captain Michael Reed. Brilliant turn by Tucker Hume there. Kyle Nelson with no other choice than to bring him down.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lazy second half challenge, that wasn't it? He rolled him, done good skill from the big guy, and he was just caught. He was caught there by Nelson. It was just a bit of a poor challenge really, but it's one of those free kicks. It's a long way out. You know, it's on the edge of the box. The Battery should be good, and you know, Kuzminski's been very commanding, coming and collecting crosses from the first half. So we'll see if he gets tested again early in this second half.
Combination of Maloto and Davis over the dead ball. The target man, Tucker Hume, 6'5", is in the box. Maloto to take it, drifts it towards the back post. Out of the back by the Battery. Here's Anunga.
That was a mismatch on that far post there, Jay Bolt and Hume. I mean, you couldn't get two opposites there, and you know, I'm sure that was deliberately done by Hume, but well done by Jay Bolt, just using his body just to put him off.
Bolt in his second season with the Battery, the Jacksonville native, had a spell at Jacksonville Armada before signing for Charleston. Here's Doyle. Davis. Joshua on the chase. Maloto. He's got a lot of speed. Brought to a halt. Battery safety in numbers. Everybody back behind the ball, helping defend.
For all the possession they've had, Nashville, they haven't really cut out too many clear-cut chances as to date. So that's something I'm sure that Gary Smith's spoken to about half-time. They've got to be a lot more penetrating when they get into that final third. And they've thrown in a few loose crosses, but nothing really where this has to really challenge Joe Kuzminski. And I'm sure, as I said, that will be something they'll look to put right in the second half.
Here's Van Schaik. Brought back to a challenge on Bolt. Well, Derek, if you're Gary Smith, what do you think his half-time team talk looked like?
Yeah, I think he'll be happy with lots of the performances from the first half. He'll be, you know, very disappointed with the goal, because there was that goal and there was another couple of chances. Brian Woodbine one side, Van Schaik on the other. The bit I think he'll be really forcing into his team is getting a bit more quality in the final third. I mean, Rios hasn't really done too much well. Hume has had no real clear-cut chances. They've got, as I said, they've thrown some crosses into the box, and Joker's Mitch is been very comfortable with those. They'll need a little bit more quality in and around the box, and he'll be looking for some more clear-cut chances, I'm sure. You mentioned the first half they've only conceded 2 goals, so they're very, they're very tight defensively. Now let's see what they've got going forward.
Justin Davis with the delivery into the box, denied by Mueller. Gashi couldn't take a turn. Here's Lagrassa. Tracks across the middle of the park. Out wide to King. King into the box this time, diving header from Bolt. Here's Lewis. Zico Lewis picks up his speed. He hasn't got numbers up around him and just runs out of greenery.
You can see what he's trying to do there, just trying to, as he rides one tackle, he's trying to slip Boshier in there. It was just a little bit unlucky.
Here's Rios. You don't want to give him any time at the top of the box, and nicely done by Bolt.
He's been quiet, isn't he? He's a good little link-up play, but nothing really to sort of test the battery defence in terms of shots or headers or crosses from Rios at the minute. I'm sure that will change. I mean, he's one that can come to life at any time in the game.
I mentioned in the first half, had a stellar season with North Carolina FC last year. This year finds himself in Nashville on an MLS contract. And maybe move up with the team next season. And it really gives these players that aren't on that MLS contract something to really prove and earn themselves.
No, I mean the progression of soccer here in America now, where you've got players that can sign MLS contracts a year out, is fantastic.
Brilliant ball into the attack. It's Rios. He takes the strike. And no worries for the black and yellow.
I think that was a great challenge there by Taylor Mueller there. Jay Bolt was a bit of a stray pass, which is unusual for him. He's recovered well, but that shot here is, I'm sure, was it Mueller here? Yeah, it was Mueller who steps across. Great block there. So, now let's see what they've got in the second half, Nashville, with this set piece.
Doyle makes his way into the box. Maloto to take it. Referee keeping his eye on some pushing and shoving. Here comes the delivery. And away by Van Schaik. Anunga on the far side picks up the second ball. Lost in possession, King. King with the redelivery. Woodbine looking to get a touch on it. Maloto whips one into the box. The head is there. And Kosminski cool and collected.
And that's the second time there. Hume's peeled off onto Bolt, isn't he? And that's a certain mismatch there. You've got one who's about 6 foot plus and one who's about 5'10" with his hands up. And it's something that the battery's going to have to sort out, because that's the second time now in the last couple of minutes he's peeled onto that far post. This is a great ball here.
Doyle reads it well. Davis back to help out. All the way home to Pickens. Pickens forced to clear. Can Maloto keep it in? Gary Smith down below us there in the grey jacket, dishing out his instructions to his side. Here's Woodbine with the long throw. Joshua with the second ball. Great turn from the newcomer for Zico Lewis. Zico Lewis, placement, and Matt Pickens forced to make the save.
And Lewis, as soon as he gets that ball and lets it run across onto his left foot, he's trying to bend that into the far corner. He got a great goal the other week, and that was very similar position to where it was. Same sort of combination. Woodbine and him just linking up the play. It was very unlucky.
Brilliant finesse on the ball, delivered towards goal. Here's Higashi. Skips a beat in the middle. Such a slick surface. We mentioned earlier on in the broadcast we had a tornado watch here in Charleston last night. Nothing to come of it in the end, just severe rain, making these conditions very nice out here. The ball will move nicely tonight. Yeah,
and the pitch was watered just before the game as well, which the players do love. They like to slick that ball around, but if you've got the wrong footwear on, it can cause you all sorts of problems also.
Here's Davis. Combines with Maloto. Woodbine with the pressure.
Good defending again, shut him onto his weaker side.
Maloto with space in the box. And nicely done by the captain, Taylor Mueller, to take it off his toes. Lewis, long ball forward. Oshua on the run. One-on-one opportunities at the back. Bourgeois comes out on top.
Great pressure as well. It would have been easy for him to make a foul there, Oshua, but he didn't. He just kept the pressure on. And Woodbine's just got to keep himself alert there. That last little chance there, he just switched off from the throw on. You know, as I said, he does a lot of his good work going forward. He's also got to make sure that he does that in the defensive side. But great intelligent pass out. I think it was Mueller there, and Oshua done fantastically well to get his team a throw in about 100 yards down the field.
Well, we saw a goal from this exact set piece against Charlotte Independence. And let's see if O'Brien Woodbine can deliver another rocket into the box. Opts for a looping throw this time. Lewis brings it down, lays it for Candela, finds its way out to Van Schaik on the far side. Higashi now. The Battery patient in the build-up. Van Schaik to the top of the box. It's a brilliant ball, and Matt Pickens quick off his line.
It was probably too intelligent run by Boschua there. He just went a little bit too early and just couldn't quite get his feet. Great pass in there by Van Schaik again.
Rios. Starting to open up now. You can see some space in the midfield. Belmar. Started every single match for Gary Smith so far this season. Such a speedy winger. And Van Schaik has done well thus far in the match to deal with it.
Battery have done well thus far in all the defensive work, you know. From the two in midfield to the three at the back, they've done fantastically well today.
Magrassa. Out wide, here comes the ball into the box. It's bouncing around. King. Bolt with the sliding challenge to deny him. Still King though. Still King to the top of the box. Here comes the re-delivery, and Carl Nelson plucks it out of the air. Davis. For Tucker Hume. And Woodbine does enough to get a touch. It looked like both players almost lost their footing there.
I thought that was a very good tackle. I thought what he's done there is Hume's trying to use his body there. And he's given him a yellow card. I think that's very harsh. As I said, I think the referee first half there, I actually thought that Woodbine read it really well. Hume's trying to use his big frame. Here we go, look, Hume's trying to use his frame, and Woodbine's just stepped in front of him. So I think the referee's got that one wrong.
Well, Woodbine is in the books. It's Mustard for the Jamaican veteran. Gary Smith again delivering information to his team on this set piece opportunity. Maloto and Davis crowd the ball, and the height has gone up into the box. Tucker Hume 6'5", and of course Liam Doyle, the 6'4" centre back. So keep your eye on them at the back post.
And this really is a dangerous situation here because it's whipped in. The defenders can't. They've got to make sure they get a real good head on it. Brian Woodbine's in a great spot there. If it's not a good delivery, he's got to make sure he's on the ball. He's attacking it right there.
Maloto with 2 assists on the season so far. He's a 2018 Nashville Offensive Player of the Year. And it's going to be Maloto with the delivery. Here it comes. It's a good ball in. Dangerous. Takes a deflection over the top of the bar.
He got too much on it. I think that was Boschua, wasn't it? He's got too much. All he needs is a little flick there, and he's actually got too much of a purchase on it. Great delivery in. And that's why it's so hard for goalkeeper. We get to see this again, look, because he's got to go for it. And any little touch there just redirects it in, but he's got to go for it. In fact, it's a great decision by Joe Kuzminski to come, even though he didn't get there, because he made Boschua just make sure he got too much on it. Good decision by the goalkeeper.
Kuzminski had a stellar season for Mike Anhauser last year after earning his starting spot early on. 12 clean sheets in the 24 matches he started. Mentioned the Battery undefeated at home so far this season.
No, They do a great job defensively. You know, as I said, they've definitely come out this year and played more entertaining soccer than certainly they did last year. And I think that's down to the individual players that they have. But Woodbine now, as he's getting shouted at now, you can see why the coach now, he just wants him to get goal side. He doesn't have to be as tenacious now in his defending. He's now got to use his experienced head and just put his body in the right positions just so he can intercept rather than tackle.
Saw Mike Anhauser telling his substitutes to warm up down below. There is movement from both benches as we approach the 60-minute mark. Still Van Schaik's goal the difference. Miloto drops one into the box, away by Nelson. The damage is controlled. Anunga combines with Lewis to get it away. Pickens way out of his box.
Yeah, it's 90s night tonight for all those people home here at the Battery, and there's lots of people dressed up in their 90s gear, and I'm sure some of these Battery fans will want to see a 90s style result, because that was one of the years where they really dominated their league and they were a big, strong, powerful team. And you know, there's a foul there as well. So yeah, you know, there's a great buzz around the crowd tonight with these. You know, the half-time entertainment was all good. So a real good, positive atmosphere here in the stadium tonight.
You're absolutely right. It was nice to watch fans singing along to those old tunes at half-time. Lots of people dressed up and a lot of fans below us out of your camera shot. I hope you enjoyed the half-time feature of some of the players telling us their favourite things about the 90s. Fantastic group. Some confusion there. Looks like Reed trying to drop it back to where he thinks the free kick should be taken from. Signee of Wofford College, Carl Nelson, to take it. Van Schaik back to Bolt. Of Rios and Bolt, fantastic recovery back to Kosminski.
That was Mueller. It was all about Mueller there when he just stepped in. His experience is going to stand him in good stead for the remainder of this game for sure.
You can see Woodbine let it go there, but it's been given in favour of Nashville. Here's Hume. Miloto now into the box. A big header from Candela. And this is going to bring up Miloto over the dead ball down here on this near side.
Now the players need to stop moaning. The Battery players need to get back on. This is another good set piece opportunity here for Nashville. And the Battery players are too busy focused on the referee. They need to get focused back in on their duties of defending properly, picking up their players. And
South African delivery.
So you go, Lewis takes no option. You just run it forward. But again, too many Battery players there were sitting arguing with a referee rather than doing their job there.
Mueller wins the aerial duel against Hume. And a brilliant header out the back by the centre forward. And Nashville really starting to pick up some energy. That one is going to go for the Battery throw-in down here on this near side. But it was a great spell of possession for Nashville, Derek.
No, as I said, you know, they're going to have to come out this second half, aren't they? You know, the game's now, you know, we're almost 20 minutes into this second half, and, you know, we're getting to a stage now where the coaches are starting to think about changes, and normally it's like tit for tat this time. You know, one team makes a change, and it's probably going to be Nashville looking to try and, you know, change something up at some point, and then the Battery, who have already used one substitution, have now got to try and counteract that.
Woodbine opts to go right across to Bolt. Bolt is under a bit of pressure but deals with it well.
And that's one of them ones where the crowd take a big gasp, but it was actually a very intelligent throw. It bounced up, and Jay Bolt was always going to head that back to his goalkeeper.
Kosminski takes his time out of the back. Boschwer up top. Here's Higashi, leads one forward. Arthur Boschwer is onside. He finds the back of the net. Arthur Boschwer makes it 2 for Mike Anhauser on his first starting debut for the black and yellow.
And that's a great goal. And again, a great little pass through. And again, watch Lewis's movement. When we see this go again, watch Lewis. He knows he's offside. He just walks back in. Watch this. Look, there's Leary's. He just walks back in. Bosua times his run perfectly and scores an absolute cracker on his full debut. Really pleased for him. Deserves it. The amount of work he's done tonight, and he's capped off with a great goal.
The Columbia University product makes it 2 on home soil. And let's have another look at it, Derek. Brilliant ball through from Kotaro Higashi. And 2 aeroplane celebrations tonight.
Yeah, and as I said, the movement by Zico Lewis there was also fantastic, because as I said, he took the defender away, brought him back, making it enable for Bosua to stay on side.
Well, he's got a spring in his step now, as does the rest of his team. Can Nashville find a response though? Nelson deals with it nicely.
And that's a tall order now for Nashville to get back into this game. You know, the 2-0 score is always a dangerous score, but definitely for sure now that they're going to have to make some changes. They're going to have to start to change a few things up. And up until now, as I said, we talked about Hume and Ruiz, and as I said, both of them really haven't had a real clear-cut chance yet. And that's testament to the back 3 of the battery, particularly Taylor Mueller. He's done fantastically well today.
Prior to this match, like we mentioned, Nashville only conceded 2 goals in their last 5 matches. They've conceded just as many tonight against Mike Anhauser's side. And if you're Mike Anhauser, you've got to be smiling down there.
No, as I said, and that's a great goal. It's a great team goal, isn't it? The way the ball was in, it was played in, seeing your striker score. Now he'll be very pleased. And they said it was played all the way through the middle of the field. It wasn't one of them crosses that came in. It was good football that was played in.
That double change?
Grasser for Davis. Dangerous ball into the box. Hume is there. And Bolt will let it run straight through.
And again, Hume's peeled away. It is a dangerous ploy the battery are playing. If we see it again, that you see that Jay Bolt is up against Hume, and it's a complete mismatch. It's a good job the quality of the balls in haven't been really effective for Hume, because Bolt would definitely be in trouble there.
Side below, Gary Smith is preparing to make 2 substitutions. Mensah has his jersey on down below us.
And as I said, Smith's got to do something, because right now a lot of his attacking players just come from wide areas, crosses into the box. They've had nothing really in and around the box now. So here's the changes now. Wynn's coming in.
Looks like Maloto making his way out. In comes Alan Wynn, Texas native, only played 51 minutes so far this season. Very, very speedy player. And out comes the big man, Tucker Hume. And in comes Papa Mensah. So 2 attacking changes for Gary Smith.
And I think that was almost inevitable, wasn't it? As I said, they've sort of huffed and puffed. They haven't really got anything quality in the box and created any real quality chances, and maybe a change of personnel will do that.
See if we can have another look at that one. It's going to be mustard from Kevin Broadley. What did you think of that one, Derek?
Now again, I think it's Bosua again. He's great body play, good centre forward play, gets his body in the way. He turns really well, and he gets his free kick and draws another yellow card out for and that's 3 now for this Nashville team. Now they're going to have to watch a little bit on how they tackle and how they defend for the remainder of this game.
Van Schaik lines up over the dead ball.
Van Schaik had a chance to cross there, but again, good intelligent play, just recycling it again.
Into the feet of Zico Lewis. Referee wave play on. Mandela keeps it in bounds, but it'll be White to pick it up. Reed.
This is where the battery will have to go back to last year, where they get goals up and then they just totally focus on getting bodies in front of that ball and the goal, trying to make it difficult for visiting teams to come here and do well.
Here's the substitute, Alan Wynn. Referee is giving the advantage there. Across to the back it goes.
And Wynn straight away has been more positive in his first touch, wasn't it? He just picked up the ball there on the edge of the box and he was driving into the box. You know, 10 minutes ago that would have been a cross ball in, and the Battery would have dealt with it very well. But now he's got another little dimension to him. Look, here he comes through. Great tackle there by Anunga. But you know, totally different attitude there by Wynn.
Here's Doyle. Getting involved in the match early on.
Now the Battery's got plenty of bodies behind there. Good little link-up play there.
Mensah blocked by the combination of Nelson and Mueller. See Nashville really now on the front foot.
Yeah, no, and the Battery now, but they've got that second goal there. Happy to defend a little bit deeper. You know, coaches don't like seeing it, but you know, the Battery are used to doing this. The Battery, you know, they're very good. They spend a lot of time working on defensive shape. You can see that from how disciplined they are. And other teams may get flustered and coaches drive them forward, but the Battery are very comfortable defending on their own 18-yard box.
Mensah, Ghanaian, finds its way out to Wynn. Wynn actually drafted by Colorado Rapids. Turned it down though, did not sign a contract. Extremely speedy player like we mentioned. Here's Davis. And to drop one into the box, denied by Lewis. And here comes an opportunity for Alan Wynn with the corner.
It's a different corner taker now, so let's see whether it's the same set piece. You can see if it's a training ground. Last couple have been really whipped in with pace, and the Battery have done very well to throw bodies at it. Let's see if we have it again. Joker's mentioned, you see he's a little bit protected there with his two defenders in front of him.
I mentioned some real height in the box. Here comes the ball. It's a good ball in. Bolt to win the header, and Bolt with the second ball out.
Bolt definitely jumps more than his height there, doesn't he? You know, he's what, 5'8", 5'9", and he jumps about 6'3", which is fantastic.
Here comes another change for Mike Anhauser. Nico Rittmeyer prepares to make his way in. The Savannah native, College of Charleston product, and it's Zico Lewis whose night ends there. But you've got to say, what a fantastic performance from Lewis.
Now, Zico Lewis will really excite these local fans because he's a great little footballer. He's very clever, very intelligent, and you can see why that's a very good substitution by Mike Anhauser. Now he's put someone on who's a little bit more defensive minded. Very, very good athlete, isn't he, Nico Rittmeyer? And that will allow Woodbine just to sit a little bit deeper now behind him. He's a lot more disciplined in his defending, Nico Rittmeyer, so a great substitution at this stage of the game.
Nico Rittmeyer, one that's really come into his own this season and last. In his rookie year, only made 13 appearances. Last year, however, appeared in every single match for Mike Anhauser.
And you have to say, Boschua has done fantastically well tonight, and he's run and run and run. Again, great intelligent play there, waits to see the ball coming in. All he does is he gets his body in front, and he's fouled from behind, and he earns his team a free kick in a really very exciting situation there. It's a great opportunity. Here it is, look, ball's played in, he just gets his body across, look, and draws the foul in. Fantastic centre forward play.
Absolutely right, it's been causing havoc for Liam Doyle at the back. Be interesting to see how many miles Boschua has put in tonight. And he's got the reward, his first professional goal in his first professional start. Van Schaik and Candela over the ball. Who do you fancy here, Derek?
I think it's got to be Van Schaik. From this setup, it's got to be Van Schaik with his left foot. Bend it round the wall. Here we go.
Van Schaik it is. What a strike! Did it go in? Boschua gets the follow-up. Well, he's made it to Mike Anhauser with the punch. And not very often do you see Mike Anhauser that excited on the sideline.
No, and that's I mean, one, it's a great strike by Van Schaik, isn't it? We've called it right. It was the right side here. It's a fantastic effort, and he's unlucky. I think it might even have been a goal. I mean, we'll have to see it again. But that's and give it to Boschua. He's there. He's first on line. He heads it in. He'll never get an easier goal, but he's there. He's man on the spot. And 2 goals in your first start is a fantastic achievement. Here we go again. This one might even have gone in. I think it's very close.
You fancied Van Schaik from there. It was a tremendous strike. And Boschua with the follow-up. What a moment that is. And now we'll see the final substitution from Gary Smith. And another attacking change, the 2018 USL Golden Boot winner Cameron Lancaster, the Englishman, makes his way into the match for the final 15 minutes. You can see Arthur Boschua still going. What a match it's been so far. Here's Whitmire. Takes a touch back to the top of the box, and Nunga fancies his chances now. But you've got to say, Boschua was there for the follow-up, had that been patted away.
No, it would. And the battery's got the grip between their teeth right now, but here's what they've got to do. They've just got to be a little bit careful now. They've scored 3, they're at home, they don't really need another goal. Now what they need to do is just, they can smell blood in the water now. They can see they're very expansive, but they also want to make sure now that they just close this game out. You know, 3-0 is a great result against a team such as Nashville. You go 3-1, 3-2, takes the shine off the game. So a little bit more of a defensive approach for me last 10, 15 minutes. The crowd's seen 3 fantastic goals. Now let's see if they can hold it out and keep a clean sheet.
Sure, very exciting night for the black and yellow down below us. Send Mike Anhauser up off his bench, celebrating with the coaching staff with that final third goal. And it looks like Boschua will be awarded with the follow-up.
And he got the free kick, didn't he? We spoke about it just before the free kick. You know, the great centre-forward play, getting in front of the ball, earning his team that free kick. And then even more importantly, he gets his chance to finish it. I'd like to see it again. I think if we had the VAR system, I'm wondering whether Van Schaik would claim it, because it looked like it just bounced over the line. But I'm sure that, you know, both of them will be happy to claim it, but Mike Anhauser will be happy that one of them just got the goal, so we'll be good with that one.
I mentioned in his first professional season out of college from Columbia University, scored 12 goals his senior season.
And those 2 challenges have absolutely typified tonight's performance by the battery. First of all, you see Anunga going in, winning it, thinking he gets a foul. And then, although he's just come on, Whitmire, he's kept on that intensity, he's chased that ball down, and it's sheer determination that he's got his free kick.
Woodbine in no rush to get us back underway. No call across Candela, the referee telling them to get on with it.
And if you're Mike Anhauser, you've got 2 players that have made their first full start, or one first full start and one his start, and to keep a clean sheet. Oh, yeah, the referee's going to do this.
That will be a yellow card for time wasting for Vincenzo Candela.
That happens in the first 15 minutes. He doesn't get a card. It's now because it's the end of the game. The referee sees that.
And Derek, what a turnaround this performance has been from last week's loss in Bethlehem. A completely different side out here tonight.
No, in this league, you're going to win games, you're going to lose games. And when you lose games, it's how you respond. And if you're Mike Anhauser, you're thinking, now, what a fantastic response by his players tonight. Absolutely fantastic response. You know, from the back players, you know, when you go and concede 3 goals and now to score 3 goals unanswered right now. I mean, as I said, now to me, if I'm him, I want to get out of here with a clean sheet, and 3-0 looks a lot better than 3-1. So I think he'll be absolutely thrilled with the performance of his players, and I'm sure he'll be preaching that in his post-match team talk and his post-match comments to all the the reporters and people that he'll see.
Mensa back to Liam Doyle.
And if you're Gary Smith, you know, he's, you know, we were lucky to speak to him earlier on. He's happy with what he's doing. He said his team's not firing on all cylinders quite yet, but this will be another little dent in his campaign. You know, as I said, you know, I think what he'll be most disappointed about is for the amount of firepower that he has. He hasn't really created too many chances. I mean, Joe Kuzminski's taken a few crosses. I don't think he's had to make one save yet. And we are nearly 80 minutes into this game.
And of course, Cameron Lancaster returns from injury. That's a massive bonus for his side. There he is redirecting that header. And he has been out with a hamstring problem as he makes his way back to close out tonight's match. And also never easy, of course, playing away from home, but especially with the trip that Nashville has had, landing in stormy conditions yesterday. A long road trip for them from Tennessee. Here they are on the front foot. Van Schaik with the challenge and Bolt to clear up the seconds.
Yeah, and the referee's given a corner, it's just gone out. But no, now this last 10 minutes is all about your professional pride of the battery. As I said, you've got your 3 goals. You know, you've got a great performance now, and it's, you know, you don't want to give the Nashville anything to sort of cling on to for this last 10 minutes, because again, we all know in soccer, you know, goals change games, and right now they look very comfortable. But if they were to concede, you know, then you've got that sort of like 10 minutes of uncertain play.
Here comes the delivery. It's a good ball in. Danger in the box. Kuzminski. Nicely done.
He's done that well all night, hasn't he? He had 2 or 3 in the first half, and again, you know, he's a big, tall lad. He's got big, long arms, and he just waits. He just jumps up, takes the ball at the highest point as he's been taught. Does very, very well.
Rittmeyer.
And, you know, I'm a youth coach, but, you know, if any coaches are watching this game, Mike Anhauser's he's been forced into one substitution he had no control of. His second substitution has had a big impact. You know, he's taken up a player that's very creative, that, you know, he's done it, and then he's got someone who's very reliable now. And Rittmeyer's done very well. He's had a lot of the ball since he's come on. Here he is again. He's very intelligent, just keeping it in the corner, using his physical presence just to run the clock down, keep the ball in the right parts of the field, and hopefully take his team to a real solid victory.
Still hustling, Arthur Boschua.
I know I'm going to be asked for the man of the match soon, but I think on the battery you've had some very, very, very good performances tonight from Taylor Mueller, Nelson with his debut. The 2 holding midfield players I think have been absolutely fantastic tonight. You know, obviously Boschua was in the running because of his goals and his work rate. You know, and Van Schaik's had a fantastic, solid game tonight as well. So there's quite a few players tonight that are sort of pitching for that honour tonight.
Woodbine finds space. Davis tracking back, drops one into Anunga. Turns to Woodbine, who drops one into the box. An awkward touch from Liam Doyle. And just what the battery won, a corner kick, but it looks like Brian Anunga down there.
Yeah, I think he just took a little bit of a late knock as well. Yeah, I think he just got, it was a physical challenge that he went in for. He just took a little bit of a knock there now. A little bit of games. Here it is here, look, he's got the ball there. Look, just caught on the shoulder by the trailing defender there. I don't think there's any malice in it, but...
Well, here comes the corner kick, courtesy of Vincenzo Candela. It's going to be an in-swinger from the far side. The battery with numbers in the box. Here it comes to the back post. Boschua is there. He's kept it in. Carl Nelson now. And Pickens forced to make the save.
The 2 newcomers there combining brilliantly, wasn't it? Boschua done such great athleticism to get that ball back into play. And Nelson was there, and actually to hit the target from the angle, that was superb. I don't think Pickens actually knew what that was.
Mensa drops one into the middle, Lagrassa. Space opens up in front of him. Izanunga, nicely done. Higashi now leads his team into the attack. Rittmeyer. And takes a touch, trying to get around Davis. Davis forced to commit the challenge, and this is going to be another opportunity.
It should be a yellow card as well, yeah. This is Van Schaik territory now. Great attack, great attitude there by Rittmeyer. Want it to go one-on-one, sucked his defender inside, all the space on the outside. And I'm sure this is another Van Schaik one. This time he might look to go further around the far post as opposed to the near post because the angle of the shot, you know, a yard outside the far post, try and curl it in, and his confidence will be real high right now after that last effort.
Boschua is in the mix. Can he make it 3 tonight? We will find out in a matter of a couple of seconds as we approach the final 6 minutes of tonight's match. Van Schaik over the ball, got a goal and an assist so far tonight.
Well, Look at his run up now. He's definitely looking to get bend on it. Look, he's actually in front of the ball right now, so he's going to use all his pace. He's got good strength. There we go.
Here's the delivery. Pickens to punch away.
Pickens got a good view of that, didn't he? I prefer my goalkeeper to catch those. I really do think they're catchable. But you know, he didn't take any chance. He just punched it away. But again, you know, if you're Van Schaik, he's hit the target. He's made the keeper make a save again, and he'll be very pleased with that effort.
Doyle launches one into the attack. Rios is there, but not before Mueller is. Sliding in from Van Schaik. Nashville keep the possession. LaGrassa into the box. Mueller over and out. Ryan Davis on this near side now.
And since Riekmeyer's come on, Brian Woodbine has really gone back to almost playing like an orthodox right back now. He's saved his energy. He's just sitting in there now, using all his experience just to block up the gaps. Nelson's playing more like a centre half now, so it's almost like they've got 5 at the back right now, and they're just trying to defend out this game, which is very intelligent play. There's Boschua again. Look, chasing everything down. Look, he'll want his 3rd goal and all his energy now. Look, even there, look, he's tried to nearly made an error, forced the other team into making an error.
Help of the substitute, Nico Rittmeyer.
And as I said, as much as you know, I've really enjoyed the game, I've been a bit disappointed with Nashville and their real lack of creativity. You know, they've put in lots of crosses in, but not great crosses. As I said, I can't remember Joe Kuzminski making a save tonight as of now. And as I said, I'm very disappointed in their play for the firepower that they have and the output they've got. And there's a great ball again there by Candela.
Rittmeyer showing us his fresh legs. Still Rittmeyer.
Stay with the ball. That's all he's got to do. Just stay with it.
Intelligent play. Goes to Anunga. Van Schaik in acres of space out on the left-hand side. Good switch from Van Schaik. Here's Mueller.
You have to give it there to Rittmeyer. He done fantastically well there, didn't he? Just you know, keeping possession and running the clock down.
By fancying his chances with a bit of trickery.
He'll just recover in front of Rittmeyer. Rittmeyer's going to have to do his work for him now, tracking Lancaster's run, which he's done very well. Normal service is resumed with Brian Woodbine sitting in at right back now. Grasser and Reed have said they've had lots of the ball, but they haven't had any real telling passes. I thought when Wynn come on, he was going to add a little bit more, you know, a bit more direct running and a bit more creativity, but it really hasn't changed dramatically with the subs, and I think we'll get our 3rd debutant tonight.
Well, here comes in another new signee for Mike Hanhauser. Out comes Arthur Boschua. What a night it's been. Greeted off by Mike Hanhauser. What a stellar performance he has had tonight. And Nicu Daly, the new signee, makes his way onto the pitch, his debut for the Charleston Battery.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to give him a game, isn't it? You know, with the last couple of minutes, give him his first little taste of playing at home in this lovely, great arena, great venue. He'll be willing to run around, and he'll see the success of Boschua, and he'll be sure to try and get on the end of that as well. He'll want a little piece of that.
Candela back to Van Schaik. Well, Derek, with about 2 minutes left, it is just about that time. We'll wait for this Nashville attack. Lancaster out wide to Win, and he's taken down in the box, and that is going to be a penalty, the 3rd penalty this season that the Battery have conceded, and Nashville have got a chance to deny the Battery a clean sheet.
Yeah, and I think he's very unfortunate there, Brian Woodbine, isn't he? I mean, I think he's actually got the right side of the player. And I think the referee's not in the greatest position here. Let's have a little look. Yeah, he just touches me back. Yeah, I'm sure. As I said, it's his run that he's made, and he's drawn the foul if it is a foul. But again, let's see if Kuzminski can save the day and keep his clean sheet.
Well, Rios and Lancaster both wanted it, and it was going to be Rios to take it. Kuzminski stands big in net. Rios 4 goals on the season so far. And here we go. Daniel Rios slots one home for Nashville. And the Music City pull 1 goal back, Derek.
Yeah, I think very fortunate there, you know, and unfortunate for the Battery. You know, it's a good penalty. You know, he waits up, sees the goal kick go the wrong way and just rolls it in. So I think there must have been a hole in the net there because they're all saying, yeah, definitely went in, ref. But no, definitely not, you know, something I think they deserve. And now, you know, they'll just have a little burst of energy now as we get through. It'll be interesting to see how many minutes the referee adds on to this now. Here's Delaney.
McHugh trying to keep it in down the far side. And Daniel Rios puts in his 5th goal of the season this year. Lancaster and Rios combined last season had more goals than Nashville did collectively as a team. And Rios off to a flying start already this year. Well, Derek, it is that time of the broadcast. I'm going to need your Heineken man of the match for tonight's game.
Listen, I think there's been some outstanding performances. As I said, you know, Mueller again, Nelson coming in, making his debut in you know, very sort of unique circumstances. I think the 2 midfield players, Anunga, Zico Lewis was very creative around there, but Anunga and Candela, I think, have been fantastic for the Battery. But I think when you get someone who comes in for their first full start and gets 2 goals, and the work rate and the way in which he applied himself, I think Arthur Boschua is going to be my Heineken man of the match tonight, and I think it's thoroughly deserved.
Boschua, the Heineken man of the match, like you said, Derek, making his first professional start tonight, bagging himself 2 goals. What a night it has been for him.
And I will say that Van Schaik, I left him out of that little recap there, but Van Schaik's had a fantastic night tonight. He's been involved in all the goals, and as I said, I think his defensive has been sound as well, so he's very unlucky not to be getting it, but I think the new debutant, full debutant, deserves it, and I'm going to stick with that one.
Ball across to Lagrassa, out wide to Mensah. Lagrassa again with the ball into the box, redirected. And Joe Kuzminski, no worries for him. He takes a touch in the box, just looking to wind down the clock a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think the Battery will be really extremely disappointed to concede that goal, especially in the manner in which they concede it. And as I said, you know, 3-1 looks a lot better than 3-0 because it looked like a 3-0 performance. You know, as I said, they've done very, very, very well all night. Defended fantastically well, attacked well, got 3 good goals. And as I said, I'm sure, you know, knowing the coach that Mike Ann has, he'd be deeply disappointed to concede that goal.
Sights of the fans down below us. Woodbine ready on this near side. Another long ball in, this time to Niku Daly, the new signee for Mike Hanhauser, makes his debut tonight. A great run through into the box, takes another touch, and denied at the very last second by Bourgeois.
He's shown a couple of really exciting moments there. I think the referee's seen enough and he's blown his whistle.
Well, it's 90s night here at the conclusion. The Battery say bye, bye, bye to Nashville SC. What a performance for Mike Hanhauser's boys in black and yellow. Derek, your final thoughts of the match?
Listen, I think it's been an absolutely fantastic performance by the Battery. It was a slow starting game, but once they got their goal in front, they went back to their, you know, going back to their original shape from last year. They looked very solid defensively. You know, the penalty, again, probably spoils the performance from a defensive standpoint, but from an attacking standpoint, 3 fantastic goals, some great individual performances, and collectively one of the best performances I've seen from them this season.
There you go, sights from the conclusion of the match. Well, there's been so many chances in this game, so let's take a look at tonight's highlights. We'll start from the very beginning. Van Schaik got things started.
Yeah, no, here it is. Woodbine done particularly well, got over, and this is a fantastic strike outside of foot. Nailed it, absolutely nailed it. They're the ones that come across. Then there was this one here, I think Joe Kuzminski, you know, he's struggling a little bit there. But again, and Jay Bolt, look at this block by Jay Bolt here, typifies the night, you know, how well they defended, how resilient they were. And then here's the second goal, great play by Lewis coming back on, and Boshua just getting in a clinical finish, and he'll be happy. He'll remember that goal for the rest of his career, his first professional goal. And then this free kick here was another, you know, Van Schaik again. I think that might even have gone in. I think we'll have to check that one, but Boshua gets it again on the return. And, you know, credit to him for just following up. So that was that one there as well. And, you know, and the Battery looked very comfortable. And then, sadly, you know, for the Battery performance, they conceded this penalty. And it was a well-taken penalty, no doubt about it. But, you know, probably puts a little dampener on the night. But I'm sure if it took 3-1 at the start of the game, Mike Anhauser would have took it, and especially in the manner of the performance that he got from his players.
Cool, calm and composed from Daniel Rios to deny the Battery the clean sheet. Charleston Battery remain undefeated on home soil, as that just about wraps things up from Charleston, South Carolina. On behalf of Poppy Miller, Derek Brawley, the entire broadcast crew, thank you so much for joining us for tonight's match. We'll see you next time.